taking the victory lap here with our boy Big T. Massive takedown PGA last night. Shipped the Millie.
The Twins got the job done for our boy Hoop. Won him $100K. Won him a live final seat.
JSU shipped $200K on, I think, just $1,000 worth of entries. He had a monster night.
Anytime we see members crush like this, we're excited.
Last night, one of our most loyal subscribers from the beginning, Jay Love, took down $20K.
I want to give a shout out to Redmen, who won over $50,000 on opening day.
Blind Bandit took down the $100,000 top prize.
We had someone win a live final seat.
It was one of those days where it's like going 5x or 10x on your money. It wasn't enough to get enough love in the Discord.
Record 62 took down the Millie Maker.
I don't even know if this heater's ever going to end.
Some of these other sites are just boring you to death.
I like how other sites nickel and dime you for every penny they can get.
Tons of the members have given tickets and membership on their own. Like, we're not telling them to do that. They're just doing it for good mojo.
You love to see it. We love the good mojo. And
the mojo is what the mojo is.
I give you credit for still having that happen. We appreciate it.
Wait till we ship tonight. I might never take it off.
Good morning. Run Pure Sports. Run Pure Sports. See you next Tuesday, JT. Get out of here. And Travis is hanging out with us today. It's a wonderful crew. G. Risen. I'm going to be honest with you. He passed out in a dispensary, and right now he's locked up in a closet like the Gimp. So we're trying to find G. Risen. I don't think he's coming out. We did get Mangone in here this morning. Good morning, JT. Big baseball slate going on. Everybody's winning here at RPS. What's going on?
Hey, good morning. Yeah, we got a team out going door to door looking for G Risen. We'll let you guys know what happens if we find him. And that's really all I can say about that. It's nice to be with Sweet Travis once again. Always
it is.
Enjoy doing a show with him. And of course, Holden with you as well.
Sweet Travis, thank you for hopping on for G Risen this morning. Why did you feel the need to stop by?
Well, producer Simon is behind us, right? Because G Rising can't be here. So, I shot him a message and said, hey, the show, we got the show going on. You got it ready? I was looking for the YouTube link. He said, yeah, he fired it up. And then I realized, no one's covering for G Rising. So I would not leave JT here with Holden for a straight hour because there'd be many words that don't need to be mentioned on the show. And I wouldn't put JT through that pain. So, I had to hop on and help give out the winners, especially after Friday, right? We gave out a ton of winners. You crushed it with Grandal in the lineup. Yeah. It was a good day. We got to run it back.
I got a little nutty on Friday. I had my White Sox stack in there, and I remember Sweet Travis saying on the show, "You gotta get Grandal. He's my play of the day." And I said, "Okay, you know what? I'm gonna get Timmy Anderson out of there. I don't even know if he was starting." And I put Grandal in there so I could fit the White Sox stack. And then when I went with our boy Otto, and he was automatic. How about that one? He crushed. He absolutely crushed. So for a shitty baseball season that I've had, we almost wiped the slate clean, and I'm very happy about that. And I'm more happy that football is around the corner because then we can have a really good year. Anyways, JT wants you to know that you can get 15% off the life of your subscription. RPS NFL 15 promo code gets you 15% off for life. And we got NFL content, and the code only works until the season starts, which is very, very soon. What is that, like a week and a half? I can't do the amount of days. I'm thinking like 11 days, 12 days, one of those two things. And it's going to be awesome. So we've got shows. Travis, you were in the meeting. I'm not even in the meeting. I don't even, I did a meeting. I was doing every show. Now I'm told, who knows what I'm doing. What was in the meeting? What shows are we doing? What do we have for NFL?
I think Big T's finalizing the schedule for it, but the rundown of it is We'll have I think it's a free show every day at 2 p.m. For the most part. I think maybe one or two of them might be a premium here and there, but we're gonna have a lot of free content at 2 p.m. Basically Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You'll have all that. We got a couple shows Saturday. That'll be some more tournament shows, and then we'll have the normal. I think we have the normal Sunday thing going on. We have a little bit of a difference with the Wood Show, where I think there's one other person on it that was not there last year. So, and then we have the Up the Lock show. So. We'll have some Showdown content as well, show-wise. We will also have, I know people last year, we were just getting started, right? Site was just kind of getting launched. Yeah. We didn't have, as much early slate content and late slate. You'll be getting those cores more. We'll have Yahoo stuff, which, listen, if you don't play at Yahoo, they're limiting some players, the Sharks. I haven't looked into it yet, but I heard it's like a very loose definition where it sounds like if you have a wife, with JT Hayes you do, if you go hang out with the wife and have her sign up at Yahoo, that's the best way to play, because I don't know if you'll be able to, because if you want a little bit of money, you're basically a Shark. So Yahoo is a good place to play. We're going to have Yahoo content. We'll have super draft content. We're going to have everything for NFL. So don't miss out on that. The Showdown content will still be fire as always. It was great for the college football yesterday. I mean, football has already started. College football winners were already given out by Bruce. We got college football coming up on Thursday. There'll be a nice little slate. So don't miss out on everything we have over here at Rum Pure Sports.
All right. Yes, you're right, Brian. When you leave your boys hanging, they leave you in the dark with the schedule. I will say this. I'll almost guarantee you, me and JSU are doing year 4 of the Up to Lock show. And I'll just say, there's nobody better. There's nobody better up to lock than whatever his name is, JSURab. So John something JSURab. The kid's amazing. And that's premium. RPS NFL 15% off for life. All right, enough of the whatever the hell we were just doing. Hit the like button. JT, what's the number today? Just come up with a number, arbitrary, run it out.
Looks like a small audience today, only 140 so far. Let's get to 150, because I think that number will grow.
Yeah, I agree with that number, JT. You know why I agree with that number? Because I always say this on these shows. It's August 29th, right? This is the loyal and faithful watching, right? We don't have many new time people popping in, maybe here and there, maybe some freeloaders that still haven't signed up. That's why we're running the whole RPS NFL 15%. Sign up today. You guys got to go now. You got to get in, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, you're crazy. We got all the NFL content that you need.
Yeah, just enjoy losing money. That's all I can tell you. Enjoy losing money if you don't sign up. So baseball, big slate today, JT. How many likes did we need? Did you even come up with a number?
150. 150. That's what Travis agreed to.
All right. Let's get into this. We got some pitching today to start with. I want to get your thoughts on Molly. One of you guys has to do the FanDuel side, unfortunately for you. DraftKings side today, we got Cease at 10K. Molly's 9.8. DeSclafani? Really? Grinky's got a great matchup. JT Hayes. What are we doing? Who's your number 1 overall pitcher? And get into the rest of your pool.
It's tough. It's another. We've reached a point in the season where a lot of these guys, especially guys, and we're seeing it. We saw it yesterday with a guy like Marcus Stroman, right? David Price. These guys that didn't play last year, didn't pitch a lot last year. Seeing this with the prospects like Logan Gilbert, 4 or 5 really bad starts in a row. It's tough. And then you have these teams that are tanking. That the Cubs. I mean, Jesus, a couple of nights in a row they put up 20 runs total. Took out Dallas Keuchel, who's not a very good pitcher, but I thought was worth a small share of risk on Friday night. He obviously was not. And then yesterday, Lance Lynn, the highest owned pitcher on the slate, he puts up, less than 7 DraftKings fantasy points. And we got the same thing today. You mentioned Tyler Mahle. Well, they, beat up on Vladimir Gutierrez yesterday pretty good. Vladimir Gutierrez, I think, one of the highest owned guys on the slate. Dylan Cease in the same matchup against the Cubs at home. I think, from an ownership perspective, Cease is going to come in lower owned than Mahle. So I think that he's probably the top guy that I'm looking at right now, Dylan Cease. And then you've got this kid from the Mets who's been mostly good except for his last start. He had one other bad start. This guy, Tyler Mcgill, and he's going to be 50% owned. Now he's 7.2K. He's facing the Nationals. It's a pitcher's park we all know about, Citi Field. They only have 4 lefties in this lineup. That's where the trouble spot has been for him. But do you want to play a rookie at 50% ownership? You talked about Otto. You probably got Otto at 3 or 4% ownership.
Less.
The reason why
Less.
I think it's important is the public is often wrong on these plays. And so when you have 50% going to this kid, is that right or is that wrong? I don't know. I tend to think that this lineup isn't all that dangerous. I mean, even guys like Soto have been just a little bit down, especially since the trade. So it's a tough slate here. And, we'll talk about some of these other pitchers here. DeSclafani, an ankle injury in that last game against the Mets, but I'm not paying 9.5 for him when he's facing 5 left-handed batters. And it's hot. It's already humid here in Atlanta. Jose Barrios is 9.1, but he's on the road. And Detroit is rolling out, I think, 6 left-handers in their lineup. Definitely an ownership play there only for Barrios. I try not to play him on the road. I don't know what it is. But also for Barrios, a guy who didn't pitch a lot last year. He's had 4 or 5 poor starts in a row, including, one against Washington in Washington. So it's a tough slate.
Tough slate. Do you want to give us the 2 players then, the 2 pitchers?
Yeah, I think for me, it's going to be at the top. Probably Dylan Cease is a guy that I'm looking at the top. And then from there, it's going to be, seeing if I can stomach one of these lower price pitchers. I know that there's people that have some interest in Eric Feedy, and, Feedy's coming off a ceiling game at Miami.
Eric Feedy.
Yeah, Eric Fetty, whatever you call him.
I mean, if it's egregious like that, I have to correct you because I don't even know who Feedy is.
Why? How do you know?
Because what if someone's like,
how do you know?
Let me go look up Feedy, and then they're like, I don't know who Feedy is. What's a Feedy?
Look at how you spell his name. How do you say his name?
Fetty.
All right. No, you know what? Go to Travis. You pissed me off now.
Good. Travis, let's do some FanDuel side of things. Didn't take long.
This is why I'm here. If there's any other issues between JT and Holden, I can be like the marriage
listen,
between both those to
go.
sort things out.
I just set a new record. 10 minutes without pissing anybody off. Now, obviously, that has changed because my good friend JT Hayes is now very upset about Feedy, but he got through his spiel and it really doesn't matter.
I'm not very upset. It's just rude. It's just rude.
What? Doing something correctly is rude?
Yes.
Saying something about your head would be rude. I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, that doesn't bother me. I know my head is right.
I want to oil it up.
I'm not sure if I'm saying Fetty or Feedy, if that's right. I know that my head is beautiful, so I'm not worried about it.
Put some oil on that thing. Yeah, Travis. What do we got on FanDuel today, buddy?
Yeah, real quick, I want to address some chatters. One, Ron Reese says he dated a girl who was once a little feedy, so there you go. That was pretty good. And then WV Reeser said, freeloader here. Morning, y'all. So freeloader, WV Reeser, you better hit the like. And second, I want to figure out how can I get you to sign up right now, right? At RPS NFL 15% off. Let me know. I don't know. What can I do for you? I don't know if it's a give me an offer I can't refuse. Let's see if I can try and convince you somehow, but let's try and bring the winners here. And
I got something, Mangone. I got something. You will DM a naked photo to whoever signs up from here.
Yeah, I don't think that's happening, Holden.
You got to bring in new clientele, Mangone.
I mean, listen, Mangone fans hasn't launched yet. We can launch it at some point, but
you have used that before. I'm glad I didn't have to shut my OnlyFans down. They started letting us do our thing again. All right, let's do FanDuel. What do you got a pitcher?
All right. So at the top, man, I've definitely gone back and forth on all these different pitchers, right? Tyler Mahle at the top. You can make the argument, okay, it's the Miami Marlins. What are the Miami Marlins? They're not good at baseball. Obviously, Mahle gets strikeouts as well. He gives up some hard contact, though. It is nice when you get a right-handed pitcher against the Marlins because sometimes the lefty, those righties on the Marlins can do a little bit better. And I think Mahle is definitely one of the better plays on this slate. Just depends. Do you want to spend that price tag on FanDuel at 9.6K? Now, Tyler Mcgill is 7K, and I think he's a really great play against Washington, kind of like what we talked about. Obviously, it's a good park as well. That Mets park has been a pretty good one to pitch in. Overall, I know it's been a little hotter as of late, but there's a humidor there. And Mcgill has been good throughout this year. We're not super scared of the Nationals. I know that they, hit up Stroman a little bit yesterday, but Stroman ended up getting out of some jams. And again, all you got to do is avoid Juan Soto there. Dylan Cease, I mean, Dylan Cease is a decent pitcher. He has some strikeout upside because he's going up against the Cubs that strike out a ton. Now they have been hitting the ball better, and I think people are a little worried to go over there and play a guy like Dylan Cease at 9.3K when they can easily just go to a guy like Tyler Mahle. So those are the top three. And then I'd say Jose Berrios is in the conversation. He does have an extreme pitchers umpire today. He gets the Tigers, but JT brought up a pretty good point is there's lefties in that lineup, which, I mean, they got Baddoo back up at the top, and Baddoo, man, that's going to help out their lineup a ton. It just slowly bumps guys down in the lineup. I mean, once you add like Eric Haas back into the lineup, I mean, it's going to get better and better. So I'm trying to decide what to do with a guy like Berrios because I know there's strikeout upside for him here in this spot, but I do have some concerns. And I think those guys at the top are a little bit better. I'd say Mahle is probably my number one right now. And then I do want to talk about Luzardo, right? 6.5K in that Marlins Park. He's going against the Reds though, which is a little bit scary, but he does have some decent stuff. I know people might kind of get on, me and Big T because we've kind of talked them up a bit, but I do think that's a really nice park to be in. And if you want to punt all the way down on FanDuel, I guess you could, or you can go to a Ranger Suarez, right? DC has talked up him a ton and he's been a lot better and he gets the Diamondbacks, a really crappy offense. That's probably better to target. It's just a tougher stadium in Philadelphia.
A couple of our members want you to send out pictures of your feety to them before it's all over. Can we just recap pitching real quick? JT, you did it already, but Cease is your number one. Who else is in the DK pool again?
Just add a little bit on why Cease is number one for me over Tyler Mahle. It's because the last two nights, Dallas Keuchel couldn't get out of the second inning. I think Lance Lynn ended up getting into the fourth inning. Could have been the fifth inning, but basically, I think this White Sox team needs a little bit of length out of their starter. So there's a possibility that La Russa may actually, if he's doing well, leave him in. And you just can't expect this Cubs team to keep hitting the way they have been. So Cease at the top. Arizona is, over the last month, they've been really, really good since these guys got healthy against left-handed pitching. Ranger Suarez did not do well against them out in Arizona. I don't know. 6K, the price point's okay on DraftKings. Luzardo 5.6. Luzardo's just tough to click his name. Certainly won't be doing that in any high dollar contests. And then I think you go to you look at Mcgill. He's going to be highly owned. You look at the other guy in that matchup, however you want to say his name. And I don't expect a ton of runs here. The Nationals have a 3.4 implied run total. And Mcgill has been very good most of the season. So it just depends on what you think about ownership there.
All right. Top three, Mangone, on the pitching side, just real quick.
Yeah, one last thing I want to touch on with Ranger Suarez, and then I'll give the top three. I watched that whole start, and it was against Tampa, right? So if you pull up the game logs, you might be like, man, he struck out 7 against Tampa. Well, 1, Tampa can strike out a ton, and 2, those guys got impatient because that umpire was a disaster, right? They realized they could not understand what the zone was. They were just absolutely baffled at some of the pitches. I mean, and the strikeouts that got called, they were on Cruz and they were on Arozarena, and they were ridiculous how big that zone was. So it's worth mentioning that Suarez's game could be a little bit of an outlier because after that, it just kind of all went downhill from there for that team. And they were swinging at junk that you wouldn't have expected because they just didn't know the zone. So I'm a little more worried about him, but I understand. Like DC likes him. He's not doing any cores today, but he has bought into that talent. So if you want to go to Suarez, you can. I just don't think it's the best day to go really cheap and down at pitcher. One thing that JT brought up with Cease that's kind of getting me a little more interested is he says it a lot, right? Just because something happened yesterday doesn't mean it's happening today, right? Just because the Cubs, hit 8 runs yesterday. And of course, I do agree with once a team gets going, I don't want to be the guy to guess when it's going to stop every time, but it is the Cubs, right? And there are strikeouts there, and Cease has been pretty decent this season. So at the top, I'd say for me, I got like Cease and Mahle, maybe like 1A, 1B. I don't know which way I'm going with that. I'll put Tyler Mcgill at number 3 because of the price on FanDuel at 7K. You can make an argument that he might end up being in my core plays. I'm doing a FanDuel core today over here at Run Pure Sports. So he could be in the core because he might be the best point per dollar play if I want to prioritize my bats instead. And then I'm probably just going to put Jose Berrios at number 4. Nothing against him. I wanted to play him to start out the day, but I'm a little more worried about that lineup.
Good morning, Uncle T. Good morning, Uncle T. Wonderful to see you in here again. Wednesday. I think it'll drop Thursday then. Thursday, You wake up Thursday morning, you will hear Uncle T complaining about something, complaining about his arm or complaining about his COVID or complaining about his nephew. You will hear it Thursday morning. The Old Guys podcast is back. I am very excited about this. I think this year we might throw some guests in there. Sweet Travis goes out and gets hammered. He can come on. JT Hayes has time on a Wednesday night. He can come on. We'd love to have some special guests, but me and Uncle T, probably G Risen. I still have not confirmed with G Risen though.
You find him.
We do, huh?
If
we
you
can't even
find
find the guy. I seriously have no idea where the dude is. Well, I mean, I kind of do. He passed out in a dispensary and he got locked in a closet. So anyways, that's what we got going on. Also, let us, yes, Travis.
I want to cut off because I see a lot of Mcgill slander in the chat, which I'm trying to figure out why. JT, can we just talk about that a little bit? Because we have a team that, what is Mcgill's struggle? Mcgill's struggle is against lefties.
This is somewhat. So let's be honest. Here's the Mcgill slander, right? He had a bad last game against the fucking San Francisco Giants. So you want to compare Brandon Belt, Brandon Crawford, and Mike Yastrzemski to this group of Washington Nationals? Fine, have at it. I mean, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, I just think it's absolutely crazy to not think that Mcgill is like in play and a good play, especially on FanDuel where he's 7K. Now, I don't know if DK, is he just like way higher priced over there, JT?
No, he's 7-2.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy not to think that he's in
unless you're gonna go to Suarez, which I almost think is a trap here on this slate, or Luzardo, which is just the riskiest play. If it works out, God love you, you got it right. But you've got, the top six of the Cincinnati lineup. I understand the park is bad, but Luzardo's been bad, and especially against these teams. I mean, he struggled against the Cubs as well. So, it's hard to go a lot lower than Mcgill on DraftKings.
Yeah, the situation is like, I always talk about this, right? Like everyone's like, oh, I want to fire the head coach, right? Like we need to get him out of here. Well, who do we bring in? Who do we play if we don't play Mcgill? You know what I mean? What is the alternative option is what's key. And if your alternative is Ranger Suarez, that's fine. You can have Ranger Suarez. I'll have Tyler Mcgill. Slide on into those DMs because I think that's a mistake. I think Tyler Mcgill over Suarez is definitely the move. I just don't know who else to play down here for cheap. Yeah. It's really ugly. If you don't spend up for two pitchers, it's kind of a disaster down there.
No Ranger Suarez. Tyler Mcgill, hate from JT. I absolutely love it. Ownership hate, of course. And poor Spencer Watkins, who gets to go against the Rays for the fourth time in his last 8 starts. I swear to God, every Sunday I end up watching the Orioles games, and I hate it. There's no team I've bet against more than the Orioles, and the Rays should have a nice day today. But RPS NFL 15, that code gets you 15% off monthly subs for the rest of your life, or as long as we're here on the internets. Tons of NFL content coming. Code only works until the NFL starts, so a week and a half or so. And we got some free shows coming up. We obviously have our premium shows coming up. We got the Wood Show on Sunday. We'll have the Up to Lock show, the final countdown. There's, again, JSU going to help you make your final decisions, and we answer your questions. It's not like baseball, and not even like NBA, like where we screw around a lot. That is the final hour. There's no screwing around. That is, let's go win some money time. So every Sunday morning, 1 hour before lock, Up to Lock, JSU. Am I still doing that show, Travis? I mean, do we know what I'm doing anymore, or am I just taking the whole week off? Just getting paid.
Listen, you would love to take the whole week off. We know how.
Yeah, I wouldn't work, and you'd pay me.
No, you will be on some stuff. I don't want to spoil it. You know what I mean? I want Big T to release it out. Which he's in the chat and he said he's sliding in, so I'm looking for the slide. I'm waiting.
What's he doing? Betting against you or giving you a schedule?
I said slide on in for the Mcgill and Ranger Suarez, and he said he's sliding. So I'm waiting. I'm looking. Waiting to see it happen. Maybe he'll get a picture of my feet sent back as a response. Yeah, I mean that's what you were asking. He said the people wanted pictures of my feet holding.
No, nobody wants that. Let's go to offense. Thanks for making it very weird, Travis. Do you ever?
You hadn't done it yet, Holden, so I had to make sure to do it.
Or is it just dudes that want to like bet you and take your money? Is there any women that ever DM you?
Yeah, of course.
JT, you kind of didn't believe that, JT? Is that what
no? I was. Of course, he said.
Like again, if you want if you want to, have like, if you want to put American dollars on it, we can, but no worries.
Yeah. What are you sending? Are you going to screenshots?
I don't know. I mean, hold it. Like, again, it's okay.
I always challenge you on the sex. There is no doubt about it. You always get challenged.
You already lost once. You already lost this
How did I lose?
You got embarrassed in the chat.
No, I didn't, because you said it was your grandma texted you at midnight telling you that you had to pick up your shirt that you left at her house over the weekend.
Okay, hold on.
Okay. It was, I'll never forget it. So
let's carry on. Let's move on to the hits.
That's what I was about. Hey, JT, can I just roll out my Tampa Bay stack and be happy with it, even though Nelly Cruz isn't in there? Can I just stack?
I'm on Nelly Cruz. I've played the last couple of nights in various lineups, and he's not seeing the ball well right now. So
he's out.
I wouldn't. Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. I wouldn't worry too much about him not being in. Okay. But you're also going to be paying an ownership tax there with Tampa Bay.
Is that okay though? We can get different elsewhere, right?
You can absolutely
play Brett Phillips. No one's gonna be on him.
You could. Yep.
Yeah.
You could.
You can get crazy with little Brett Phillips today, a little matchup. So who's your number one stack?
Well, Big T is here. So I mean, I don't know if we want to do our stacks in order. We got to go game by game or something. I mean, the bet show doesn't start until noon, so you got.
Oh, he's here.
You got another 36 minutes with us, Holden.
I mean, I had to interrupt the stroking to Tyler freaking Mcgill from Mangone. A chalky Tyler Mcgill is somehow, I wanted to puke watching. I had to come on. It was very hurtful.
I mean, he's better than Suarez, I'll say that.
I mean, first of all, one of them is going to be like 4 times higher owned than the other one.
Yeah,
Second of all, Tyler Mcgill sucks ass. Like,
I don't agree.
I mean, that's a little
like, when has he had a good start? He hasn't had a good start in like 6 months. Like, when has he been good? He goes 70 pitches.
There's points that are valid that you're making. He's going to be high owned. The concern with Met starters is the pitch count. We talked about the ownership up front, but we said, hey, where are you going to go if you're going to go low? In terms of his starts, he shut down the Blue Jays at home. He's had good starts. He is coming off a bad start. But then again, we play guys all the time here when they're coming off bad starts because we expect to bounce back. But usually it's at lower ownership. So my concern with Mcgill is exactly that. He's a guy who should not be 50% owned. So when you look at this slate and you look at where to pair your top pitcher, if you want to stack up the Rays or the Red Sox or a couple of combinations of those teams, something like that, then I think it gets a little challenging here in terms of where you're going to go.
I mean, the one thing I will say, you can't say he sucked ass when Toronto 25.7, Atlanta 18.4, San Francisco.
I mean,
you have the negative.
The Toronto start was literally like 7 starts ago. What are we gonna? I mean,
you just said 6 months. I
exaggerated. I was in shape like 6 years ago. I mean, come on, like.
2 starts ago, he pitched well in San Francisco against the Giants. He's had literally, I think, 2 or 3 bad starts. Most of his starts have been pretty good.
Depends on what we consider good. Like, do we want 16 from him?
He's 7-2.
Hold on. Since when is Big T the guy who's like, I just need like 8 or 10 for my 4K pitcher? I mean,
he's not 4K.
He's 7K though. He's not that much, Tony. Come on. This is a bad take by you. Now, if you want to talk the ownership, I'm with you. I understand what you're saying.
It's all in the same argument, though. He's not going to be in the winner. I'll tell you that much. That's all that matters.
Well, who is going to be in the winner? That's what the people want to know.
I mean, Cease is for sure going to be in the winner. It's just a matter of who's going to be with him.
So that's what we're talking about, though.
Yeah, but it's not going to be 50% on Tyler Mcgill is my point. Like, there's no way it's him. He could go like 60 pitches and get pulled out.
Who else is in the mix then? Who else? Suarez?
Anybody. Literally anybody I'll play. Ranger Suarez, Ian Anderson. Suarez. I'd even play freaking Zach Greinke over him. I can name every dude on the list. I'd play every dude on the list over him.
Well, Tony, here's the thing. It's okay. It's okay to play a 50% Tyler Mcgill. The question is, what is the rest of your lineup?
No, it's not okay.
No, Tony, it is. What's the rest of your lineup look like? If you play all 5% bats, you're telling me I can't play a 50% Tyler Mcgill? Why can't I?
Sure, if you get the bombs from all your bats, then your 14 from Tyler Mcgill is going to crush.
I mean, it's more than
And
Ranger Suarez, so that'll work.
And nobody's saying that he's our favorite play. We're talking
No,
about
Mangone was saying he was going to bet his whole bank account. He was stroking to him.
I was going against Ranger Suarez. Yeah, again, if you want to bet it, I'll bet against Ranger Suarez. I don't think he's that good. I think he benefited a ton the other day.
What's the bet? What's the bet, boys?
I don't know. Tony acts like, Ranger Suarez.
The bet is that I'm going to win more money not taking Tyler Mcgill. Like, yeah, if they had the same ownership, then I would take Mcgill over Suarez, and they're not even the same price on top.
The best part about this is I'm playing FanDuel, right? So I can only play one pitcher, and like sometimes Tony knows how FanDuel works, right? Like it's like 7K pitchers aren't played often, so it just depends on what bats you want and need. And a lot of the time, when you play
I like him even less on FanDuel. I want to puke even harder on you.
Because what happens is if you do play the Rays on FanDuel against Watkins, I'm sure there's cheap enough ones where you can always play a top end pitcher. You can play the Rays, and like you can play another offense very easily because the Rays are always, you can find a way to get some cheap Rays in there no matter what, just because that's how it goes. And it's a Sunday, and like you have these weird lineups where you get random 2K guys in there, and they help make it work where you can just spend up for a pitcher. So you probably won't end up playing him on FanDuel, honestly.
Don't be backpedaling.
No, I'm just telling you what.
Don't be backpedaling off of.
I don't want people to think that I'm for sure playing him. I'm trying to be transparent. I'm not trying to backpedal. But on DK, if I was playing it, I would probably be playing him. It would depend on my full overall lineup, though, because again, the full lineup ownership is what matters to me the most, right? You're not going to play like all these 20% guys in one lineup. You want to have some lower owned guys mixed in there. That's why you play your platoon guys here and there, Big T. That's why you play that like 1% guy, because it helps get your lineup unique instantly in that way.
Tony, more raw fantasy points on FanDuel today. Brett Phillips or Tyler Mcgill? You're on mute, buddy.
Oh, God. Now Rangone's got me on freaking mute. I'm rattled.
I'm in your head, Tony.
Mangone owns real estate. You can't choose my boy, Brett Phillips. That guy's a hero today in that cheap price range. I can't wait to play him today. So, I can't take Phillips over a pitcher, though, besides just the shit talk, Mangone.
I got a real question, though. Are you going to – it's Sunday afternoon in Miami. You know the Reds were out fucking all night long.
I'm playing Luzardo already. You don't even have to ask me. I've played him every start, and he's killed me every start. I'm not getting off him yet.
By the way, JC always likes to get on me and Tony. JC always says, Mangone and Tony are arm in arm. We weren't arm in arm for the last 10 minutes, but we can get arm in arm about our boy Luzardo, Tony.
One of these times he's going to crush, and I'm going to victory lap it.
That's right.
He's been so bad.
One thing you get at spike plays.
That Chicago start, he actually wasn't for the overall slate, he wasn't that bad. It's the funny part.
Yeah, my favorite is the Big T JSU spite plays where they just play guys because the other guy makes fun of them, and then half the time they end up going off. So that's kind of fun too.
The best plays. Sometimes you just got to anchor in, hold it. You can't give up that quick.
That's your play of the day, the spite play of the day. We got Eiffel Tower.
I do like Luzardo though with the South Beach effect.
You're not.
I really do.
Are you really doing it?
I like him. It's the great part.
I saw his price last night. I knew. I was like,
the Reds suck, man.
He's gonna get ownership. He's gonna get one pure ownership boost.
I'm telling you, man, the South Beach effect is real, especially for a team like the Reds that go down there. They're not in their hotel room. If Luzardo's ever going to shove, it's today on a Sunday.
Well, I was told from a chatter once in the chat that there's protocols, and these guys aren't going out.
Yeah, they're not going out. They're just staying in the hotel room everywhere they go.
The ultimate
security guys don't accept tips, right?
Big T is here. RPS NFL 15 promo code 15% off monthly subs for the life of subscription. Mangone kept just pushing it off on you. What do we got coming up here, Mr. Schedule Guy? What's going on during football season?
Hopefully we put it out this week and put the whole thing out because we got a ton of good stuff coming. We got a show every day, podcast a few times a week, articles every day. JT Hayes is going to do some gym articles again for us. We got all kinds of stuff coming. We'll have the full schedule out this week because we got a ton to it. I want to make sure all of it is put together before we release it.
All right. So tons of stuff for NFL this year is all we could say.
More than ever. That's all you need to say. Winners will be picked. Yep.
And I love playing the 4 o'clock slate. And for what I understand, we're going to be having cores and breakdowns and all this stuff. Like even the smaller slates, we got Showdown. You got the best Showdown player in the world right here. So Showdown slates too. Mangone, JT Hayes. We're looking forward to all this stuff. All right.
This is JT's like 3rd or 4th show this week. I love seeing his face.
When else did you work, JT?
See, you don't even know when he works. I know when he works every time. I always watch.
Twice. I probably worked with him 2 times already. I don't even remember.
No, you were off. You were off in the dispensary. So while you were off in the dispensary, I was covering for people Thursday. I worked on Friday. I think I did something earlier in the week. It's been very busy, very, very busy.
All right. It's good to hear. Let's do some offenses, JT. Let's get to your number 1 stack and a couple of ancillary stacks. What do you got today? DraftKings.
Yeah, I mean, up at the top for me, obviously, everyone knows about Tampa Bay against Spencer Watkins. Tampa Bay disappointed the last 2 nights against the likes of Matt Harvey and John Means, but there's not a much better spot than against a guy who, for some reason, the Orioles promoted to the major leagues. And are letting him throw every 5th day. And then I think right up there with them, for me, are the Red Sox, similarly disappointing the last couple of nights against Eli Morgan. Eli Morgan easily in the bottom 3 of pitchers on this slate. They've got Schwarber, who hit a home run last night, leading off in that top spot. Devers, you're going to pay a price for him at 6-1 on DraftKings, but he's in the 2 spot. And then down at the bottom there, you got Verdugo in the middle, I should say, at 3.8. And I don't mind Jonathan Arouse as a cheapie. You can say his name for me since this is something that you want to do today.
I like Arouse better. Let's go with Arouse.
That's the correct
Arouse. I was aroused looking at his 2.1 price against Eli Morgan. And so, yeah, I like those 2 teams quite a bit. And then, I mean, I don't mind some Atlanta lefties, maybe not a full stack here against Anthony DeSclafani. DeSclafani always a tougher time against left-handed hitters. And, you talk about pitching, pitch counts and stuff. I'm not sure it's working out for him, but Gabe Kapler is limiting these starters once again. He's pulling these guys out early of games. So interesting spot there. That's kind of my top 2 and then some one-offs there. And then I'm trying to decide what to do with this Philly game because I really do like both sides of this game. We like to target Madison Bumgarner on the road. I am much lower on Ranger Suarez long-term than anyone else is. And this Arizona lineup has been surprisingly good, like I said, since some of these guys got healthy. So I don't mind some one-offs there.
Okay. Travis, let's do a little FanDuel action here. What are we doing stacks-wise? Who can we fit in?
Yeah, I'd say my 1 and 2 right now are definitely the Rays and the Red Sox, right? You got to find a way to make that different if you want to play both those. But I'm trying to. I mean, I want to play the Brewers. I always love playing them, but Griffin Jacks, I don't know if I definitely want to go out and target him. I think he's been better. Maybe I'm mixing up the Twins pitchers, but I feel like he's been a little bit better, hasn't he? No, he still hasn't been good. Maybe I'm mixing up the Twins guys, but I wouldn't sleep on Brewers bats, especially some of those righties. It's good for guys like Avisail Garcia, Willy Adames. That stadium is built for the righty power. So I will look at some Brewers as well, as hopefully that game's okay. I know there were some tornadoes yesterday flying in Minnesota. There was some weather. So hopefully that game is okay weather-wise. And those are probably like the main 3 that I'm looking at right now. Also like the White Sox, but it is Hendricks. I never know what to do with Hendricks because he either just doesn't get blown up or he gets absolutely blown up. It always feels like it's one or the other with good old Kyle Hendricks.
Tony, what are you thinking? Who are you stacking today, man? Who are you stacking with Ranger Suarez or whoever the hell you're throwing out there?
Luzardo, my boy Luzardo,
excuse me.
I mean, Tampa's for sure in the equation for me. But the thing I like about Tampa is I don't have to play Luzardo because I got my 2 cheapies that I play every time, Phillips and Kiermaier in the 7. And my favorite part about Tampa in these spots like this, I can play low-owned guys in the huge stack, and it always works. And no one ever goes down there because people will play A-Roz. I mean, the top of the lineup's so good too that I just don't think people go down to Phillips and Kiermaier together, and I love playing them together. You get 2 cheapies in there. They both just grind at bats. I don't know. I like them against right-handed pitching, so it makes it easy. And then you can put – I mean, I'm going to play Wander too. He's just on a different level right now, just raking the ball. So those would be the three. And then whoever else you want to put in is the nice part about Tampa. I'll put like three of them in, those three, and then I'll kind of see what else I like as we go through the games. And then I'll come back and pop in two more Tampa, depending on which position kind of fits with my build. Because honestly, outside of Luplow, who I don't hate, I mean, I could play him if I had to. He's eligible at two positions. He's really the only guy I don't love, though. If it was a perfect fit and it got me two pitchers or something, I wouldn't be scared to play him, but he's definitely not my favorite in this lineup. Anyone else, though, I'm going to be off of Boston again. I just like them better at home. They're one of those teams I don't really play as much on the road. I do think they are in a good spot, obviously. Eli Morgan's awful. I don't love playing them away from home. I feel like they get worse. And I don't love the lineup either. I mean, I don't know. I just like them better at home. I'll say that much. Besides that, I kind of like the Atlanta call. Especially the lefties. I mean, you got guys that I like, Eddie Rosario and Vogt down in the 7 and 8. I didn't even know Rosario was on the team. It's got to be somewhat recent. When did he even get there?
He got traded at the deadline, and he was still on the IL. So he played like a few games in AAA for them, and then they brought him up a couple of days ago.
Like I love JT's. I might do that because I'm only playing two teams today on DK. I might one of them do the five lefties. What? Albies, Freddie, Jock, Rosario, and Vogt. I like that a lot. And you get two cheap guys with Rosario and Vogt to where they're both going to be really low owned. They both, in my opinion, have upside against a guy like Disco Stu. And I like that. That's going to be a low owned stack. I like that more than – I think that's my second favorite. I like the White Sox more. I got to like the White Sox too. But I think Atlanta's a better low owned option that not many people are going to have.
So we'll get to one-offs. If you really want to save salary, can we go down to 2K Lane Thomas today, leading off for the Nationals against the Mets? Everybody's going to be on Mcgill too. So let's get into one-offs here. What do you think, guys? JT, let's go to you here. What do you think of Thomas? Can I go Thomas, or is there going to be a lot cheaper guys that could be productive? Because this kid gets on base, double-digit points on DK. I like him a lot today for salary relief.
Yeah, he's been good. I mean, if you play any Nationals, you're getting a huge leverage boost, right? Because of the ownership on Mcgill. And you're right on Lane Thomas. And the other thing is you always want to take against the Mets, players against the Mets who can steal bases. They've got now Patrick Mazeika, who's catching for them. I mean, this is a guy who was like a shortstop or something, maybe even a second baseman, and they converted him. And now, because of injuries and whatnot, he's the everyday catcher there. So they just don't historically hold runners on. It's an organization that doesn't do a lot very well, but they hold runners on pretty poorly as well. So, I mean, it's serious. It's true. I mean, you're at the point. I saw last night there was a delay in the game, and I was like, why is there a delay in the Mets game? Not that I had anybody, in the game, but I was just curious. And I'm like, oh, we're at the point in the season where to get people to show up to the ballpark, we're going to honor Jerry Kuzman, who last played when most of us were still fucking infants. So, hey, whatever you got to do to get fans in the seats, it's fine.
You were an infant when Jerry Kuzma was pitching?
I don't even know if I was. I might not have been born yet.
Oh, you were definitely born because you're older than me. You're one of the few guys older than me. I think Uncle T is the oldest, G Risen second, you're third, and then I think I'm fourth.
All right, there you go.
Yeah.
So. But to answer your question, yes, you can absolutely play Lane Thomas 2.0. Yeah, I mean, there are probably spots that are better. I mean, you got those Tampa Bay guys for just a couple of $100 more. Yeah.
So when we're talking about Tampa Bay, then who? Like Phillips and Kiermaier?
So those Phillips and Kiermaier are 2.5 and 2.6 on DraftKings. I mean, I would definitely try and find a way to get up to them because, they just get such a better environment. The park is better. The lineup overall is much better. And the Orioles bullpen, one of the worst in the game.
Okay. Mangone, let's talk a little one-offs here. How are we getting different if we're stacking the Rays, right? And let's just say some of our viewers are not going to go down and play the Phillips, Kiermaier, any of these other jabronis down lower in the order. Who you like today? Who's standing out?
Yeah, I mean, just go on FanDuel, and I mean, some people do it more than they used to, I would say, and especially with this lineup. But just play Big Mike Zunino. I mean, ever since someone in the chat got on me and was talking about all this regression and this guy's going to stop hitting, I was like, when's Big Mike Zunino going to stop hitting? Because the dude just keeps hitting bombs after bomb after bomb. He's 3.4K on FanDuel too, which is like kind of an expensive price tag over there for a guy that plays the catcher first base position. And especially for a catcher, he's in the 6 hole. So maybe he does get a little more ownership because as guys move up in the lineup, right, they just naturally gain more ownership. But I don't know. I still think he's a really good play over there on a site like FanDuel. People who might want to play Randy Arozarena instead of a guy like Zunino instead. So I think that that's a good play. I did want to talk about, as Big T talked about the liking the White Sox, I kind of pulled up Hendricks BVP because I was curious. I figured he's gone up against the White Sox a ton. Jose Abreu has like 11 for 19 against him, only 1 home run, but I thought that was pretty interesting when kind of just looking at some stuff. And Jose Abreu mashes a lot of guys, right? And he said whenever he's had good BVP, I feel like it's gone well. I don't know. It's one of those that I've looked at, and it seems like it always goes pretty well. But I agree with what Big T said. Like Brett Phillips is definitely a guy that I'll be looking at. Kiermaier. If you do play the Rays, right, you just don't go down and play the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? You need to find a way to make it different, find a way to make it unique. Other people are going to have it. And well, listen, when it goes well, you're going to be at the top of the leaderboard because those lone guys will get the job done for you. And those cheapies, the nice thing about them is they can get you like 3 or 6 fantasy points sometimes. And that's okay because the other guys in your lineup will get you up there. And sometimes having a salary saver is what helps you get maybe, I don't know, a Joey Votto in your lineup or a Vlad Guerrero Jr. And then that guy helps bring you over the top. So having a cheapie that doesn't do that well, sometimes it's not the end of the world. And that's why I like going down to those guys in my stack.
All right. So let me ask you this then, Mango. We'll get a little theory here. You go Lau, Arozarena, Franco, 1, 2, 3, and then you dump down to like Zunino, Phillips, 6, 7. Just from a stacking standpoint, is that asinine or is it decent? Because what you're leaving out, then you're leaving out 4 and 5.
No, I like that. I think it's good. That's a good. I mean, this lineup up and down is just really strong. How many out? Sometimes you can just play all 3 outfielders, right? Like some people are just like not able to like click on all 3 outfielders because they're like, man, I really like Bryce Harper today. I want him as my one-off, or I want Nick Castellanos or Yordan Alvarez. They just always want to have one of those guys to throw in as a one-off. So sometimes just playing all 3 outfielders is another way to just make your stack unique as well. All
right. Big T, who are you looking at one-offs today? And then I got some questions in the chat we need to get to.
Yeah, one-offs. My boy Nick Ahmed against Ranger Suarez in the 1 hole. He finally hit a bomb the other day after he's been terrible. Looks like he hasn't done much since then. That was 2 days ago. But yeah, I like Nick Ahmed for a one-off. Just looking through here, you got Bonifacio from Philly in that same game against Bumgarner is only 2K. So he's always been a guy I like against lefties. Right in the middle of that lineup too. Maybe you play Bryce Harper, Bonifacio, and whoever, one of the other Philly guys for a nice little mini stack. I do like him though. Just going through some of the other ones. Brandon Nemo, I like him as a one-off against Fetty. Fetty mowed the other day, didn't he? Isn't he the one that just totally smashed?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, against the Marlins in Miami.
Yeah, that was a mauling he did there. But yeah, you can go Nemo. I don't see anything that like totally sticks. I honestly, my favorite one-offs are probably the JT's Atlanta call where Eddie Rosario or something is a one-off vote. I like Atlanta a lot. I'm kind of with JT on that one. These lefties are growing on me. I don't know. I'm starting to like the White Sox less and less the more I look at it. Just because Cesar Hernandez, I freaking hate Cesar Hernandez. He's in the 1 hole. I don't know. I don't like the lineup as much as I originally did. Jace Peterson is another one, hitting 7th for Milwaukee. I always like him against righties. Griffin Jackson's been better, but he still doesn't strike a ton of guys out. I think Jace Peterson is a really good one-off, eligible at 2 positions. I like that. So those are some of the guys I'm on.
That's a lot. That's a lot of guys. I like it. Matty Ice in the chat. Why wouldn't you play Buxton leading off at 2,700? Come on, Holden. I don't know. I'm not buying into it yet. I want to see a little bit more from Buxton. What do you guys think about Buxton? Anybody want to take this one? He's cheap. He's at the top of the Twins lineup. He had a great first couple months of the season. It's been a long time though.
Yeah, I mean he's 3-7 on FanDuel and 2-7 on DK, right?
Yeah.
He's a very good play. He's a good salary saver. It just depends if you need it or want it, right? It feels more of like a cash play, I guess you could say. But if you want to stack up the Twins, you could go for it, but I don't need to stack up against Ashby, right? I like the Brewers side a little bit. JT, let me go to you and ask you your thoughts on attacking Jackson. We also get the one thing I love about attacking a guy like Jackson is I get that Minnesota bullpen behind it. I also get the 9 innings as well, which is something I always like having. It's a nice little cherry on top of the stack. I just don't love, I mean, the lineup's okay today for the Brewers. I wish they had Avisel Garcia in there, but it's still pretty decent, right? Wong, Adames, Yelich, Narvaez, Tellez, Urias, and Peterson is like the 1 through 7. Then you got Jackie Bradley Jr., who's whatever. What do you think of the Brewers there? Because that's a stack that I want to kind of get behind, and I love to play, but I don't know if I should today.
Yeah, I don't know. Jackson's coming off, I think, his worst performance of the season. Gave up, it may have been as many as 9 earned runs. That was in Boston in some very hot weather. So I don't know. It's a little cooler in Minnesota than it has been. There is a little bit of a wind blowing out. So I kind of like almost this Twins side a little bit more against Aaron Ashby, another guy that's been brought up before he's ready. You never want to go full on with that Milwaukee bullpen, but if they get behind, you're going to get the poorer arms in that bullpen. So you've got Sano at 3.3, Donaldson, who's been starting to hit a bit lately at 3.5, Polanco is 3.8. Buxton, the question with Buxton is how many at-bats before he gets hurt again, right? I mean, that's sort of the inevitability here is what's going to happen.
Next question, we got Yadiel Hernandez. Anyone on Yadiel today? No. All right, we'll move on to the next one. That's absolutely fine. Brewers always struggle against the Twins, says Steve Anthony. Okay. Richie Smalls, Sosa was 2,200 yesterday and helped me cash. Richie Smalls, Tyler Naquin, man, all season long, man. Tyler Naquin, he goes up against the righty. He's been taking care of business. So that one, and then anyone like
always make fun of the splits guys. Naquin was one of the original righty mashers. He's Naquin, an OG.
Ruff, Galvis, Freddie Galvis, just out of the circle of trust this year, huh? Big T.
I love him, but you got to know my rules by now.
I know, I do.
I have my rules for baseball. I play him against righties.
I have not seen much in your cores, though. Not much.
Because he's been out. I've been dying for him to face a righty.
True.
Next time you're on a show with me and he's facing a righty, I guarantee he's in my one-off pool.
Good. RPS NFL 15 promo code, 15% off monthly subs for the life of your subscription. I'm looking forward to it, guys. Monday through Friday, we got free shows. We got premium shows. We got Up to Lock with JSU. We got articles. I don't know if they're free or for charge. What'd you want to say, JT? You're like chomping at the bit for something.
No, I'm just kind of getting excited because more I look at this, I mean, then you've got for the Twins, Ryan Jeffers at 2.6, catcher who hits really well against left-handed pitching. And then Joey Work is in the chat saying that he is on the Twins. So you could stack up Tampa Bay and the Twins and probably go with 2 upper tier arms is what I'm thinking now with the way that these prices line out. Even a guy like, you're probably not going to play Astudillo, but I mean, you put those 2 cheap outfielders or one of those cheap Tampa Bay outfielders, and then you mix and match with some of these guys. I like that a lot.
So who exactly are we talking about here?
Only annoying part is I've been playing with it too since you guys. The pricing doesn't quite line up. Is the only annoying part where, like, the cheap guys are cheap at the same positions, and I don't know. It's not quite a perfect fit, but I wish it was.
You got to sacrifice something somewhere, right? So you got to play Jeffers over Zunino, which honestly, okay, I can accept that. But then for third and first base, I don't think there's a third and first baseman on Tampa Bay that I want. And you could go Donaldson, Sano, Jeffers, and a 4 or 5 man of Tampa Bay, and then you have a one-off of one of your Arizona guys or a Brave at the bottom there. You could put maybe Rosario or something. So it's interesting.
All right, let's get to some plays of the day, guys. We got a lot of plays to get to. There was one other question, but I didn't. Oh, Houck. Let's go back to pitching real quick. We didn't mention much Houck, did we?
Yeah,
Anybody?
no, we didn't. I love it. I love his talent. Price tag is moderate. The thing is, he hasn't gotten into the 5th inning. I shouldn't say that. He hasn't gotten beyond the 5th inning. 4 1/3 or 4 2/3 last couple of starts. It's not going to get him the win at 8-1 against an Indians team that's kind of league average in strikeouts. You're going to need a little more for that price point, I think, on this slate. So there's just a bit of risk there in terms of the length.
Hayes Kushner, 2024, Millie Oswin. I will say this again. I'd much rather be the Secretary of Defense than the Vice President. Vice President is just a waste. They don't do anything. They shake hands. You know this, JT. I mean,
listen, it's actually, it depends, right? Kamala Harris is running around Vietnam with wreaths and flowers. And so that's kind of fun.
I don't think that's fun at all.
To
be honest with you, I'd rather bomb shit than do that stuff. So that's why I prefer the Secretary of Defense. All right, let's get into our plays of the day. Mangone, I don't like dry hump play of the day for you anymore. We need something else, but that's fine. Grandma's play of the day. What do you got?
Yeah, I mean, I'm down forever. You just got to organically happen. You know, you can't force things in life.
I know.
You can't force a good
like
thing.
Tony's out of spite play of the day that's coming up. That's not forced at all. That's just factual.
I don't know. It feels more forced.
Okay.
It's
That
the
does?
workbench. It's the workbench. It's the workbench. You stick with it.
I forgot about that.
You
Okay.
stick with the workbench. But I'm going back and forth. I mean, the Rays, I feel like I can't give Mike Zunino. I don't know. Big T, let me ask you, can I give him or am I not allowed to give him? What's the take on that? I'll give another one if I'm not allowed to, but I need to know.
I mean, I think it's pretty tough to use Zunino.
That's fine. I won't bet. Okay. I'm asking the question.
I mean, he's a good play. I like him with you. I just don't know. Like, if I was giving out the workbench, I wouldn't feel comfortable going with Zunino. It's a little too much.
Why is it too much? You're saying it's too high?
Because he's the catcher on the most popular team and he hits bombs.
That's what I'm making sure. Okay, cool. That's all I wanted to clarify.
He's a great play, though. I'll tell you that much.
I thought you were saying you wouldn't give him out because you're worried he could just.
No, I'm not worried about his production. I'm just saying he's too easy.
You know, I'm gonna go to. Let's go over to this. I do like playing him at times. He's also dirt cheap on both sites. Let's go with Mr. Rowdy Tellez. He's 2.5 on DK. I don't know if he's chalk over there or not, but yeah, I'll go with him. I like this Brewer stack, I think, more than you guys. It sounds like you guys like the twin side more, which is okay. I mean, the game you just shoot out and go off, so that'd be fun. I'll go with Mr. Rowdy Tellez at 2.5 on DK and 2.6 on FanDuel.
Give me some Eiffel Tower, JT. Give me some of that.
Yeah, I think the more we talked about it, the more I kind of like this team today. The bringer of rain, Josh Donaldson, 3.5, third base. You got a lot of more expensive guys. Donaldson at 3.5, too cheap for his talent in this matchup. And I like some of these twins. So Josh Donaldson.
Josh Donaldson. All right, Big T. It is not the spike play of the day. It's the workbench. Hit the workbench right now. What do we got?
Super annoyed, too, because JT's team he was talking about, I can play like the perfect Minnesota Tampa with Jefferson, Donaldson, and it's 100 short somehow with the top two pitchers. So I got to shuffle a little bit, but I like that idea. Workbench, though, man, it's tough when I like Tampa, kind of like Mangone with Zunino, where I'm going to be super heavy on Tampa on my teams. I don't really feel comfortable saying any of them just because it's too easy. I mean, some of them are going to be low owned.
Phillips, right? Or one of those.
Yeah, I mean, Phillips is for sure going to be low owned too because I will just give Phillips. You know what? There's no way he's high owned, so it has to count. I mean, there's no way he's over like 5 to 10%. There's just no freaking way. So I will give Phillips because I'm going to play him on both teams, and I like him, so I'll go with him. He's going to hit a bomb for us today.
Brett Phillips, the play of the day. I love it because I already locked it in. I'll just go with the Atlanta lefties. I know nobody's talked about them yet. Stephen Vogt, Eddie Rosario, Freddie Freeman. You know Tony's not listening when he's not even reacting to me just stealing.
Nobody's talked about them. You're right. Holden.
His Braves lefties.
Once again.
Holden had a good call. I'm going to give Holden credit the other day because I always watch the other shows. Why wouldn't I with all the sharp people we got? Holden, though, the other day came with a fire take. People made fun of him. I listened to everything, Holden.
Good.
You said that Otto dude or whatever his
That was
name
my
was.
boy.
I listened to your whole sales pitch, and you know what? I played him on one of my big teams because
Yeah.
of you.
Fuck
Because
yeah.
of you against Houston. And he came through. He was solid. I don't remember what his final
No, he
numbers
was
were.
awesome.
Yeah, he was good. That's
Yeah.
why. So I'm giving you credit. That was
Fuck
a great
yeah.
call, Holden.
Yeah, let's just go back to Friday and play Otto again. Like I said,
He was
Mangone
like
got me
point-
on.
He was
Mangone
like
got me on Grandal.
0.05%. It was the lowest loan dude I think I've ever played.
He was 0.3 on Yahoo.
Yeah. He
And
was
then
really
on
low.
DraftKings, he was nothing. Mangone got me on Grandal. I admitted it. I've had a rough baseball season. I almost wiped out all of my losses. So plus money NBA, probably not. It's going to be tough to make it back in baseball. But NFL
Baseball's
is here.
all about the one a couple hits though.
That's it.
Basketball's more of a steady climb. Baseball is it's some mountains up and down.
Over one. Yeah, it fucks with your head too, man. I'm not even kidding. Like,
You just got to know it going in. It definitely
baseball
has some
fucks
times
with
when
my
it's
head.
tough.
I'm like, all right, I haven't won anything in a month. And then you win, and then it's nice. And then you think you got it figured out. You don't. RPS NFL 15 promo code, 15% off monthly subs, life of subscription, tons of NFL content. The code's only working for another week and a half. Once the NFL kicks off, forget about it. You're Dunsky. Okay. Travis, thanks for showing up, pal. It was good to see your face this morning.
Yep, it was like a snowball effect, Holden. If I don't show up, I don't know if Big T shows up.
Probably not.
We just giant snowball. We got all the crew here, ready to bring the winners and give out the core plays and get on to the NFL season. I'm excited.
All right, Simon, thanks for coming by on this Sunday morning, filling in for G Rising. Again, dressed like the gimp in the back of a dispensary. JT, have a wonderful day.
You too as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Big T, do this stuff. I'm holding Simon. Get us out.